Ladies and gentlemen, g'day, welcome back to the channel. My name is Economics Mate, and of course, this is World of Tanks Blitz. Now, before I begin, I just want to say YouTube recently recommended a video for me by a YouTuber by the name of Conway Plays. Now, I'm not sure if you guys remember who he is, but he was a small YouTuber who made a YouTube video reviewing my channel. And it's quite sweet to think that there were people out there that enjoyed my content when I used to make content all those years ago, and I was quite active in the YouTube community. Obviously, I watched the video back then, and I commented on it, and I watched it again just now, and it's refreshing, and it means a lot when I hear people say things like, "We enjoyed your content. It's really, really nice what you do. You make awesome content. You're really funny. You're a crazy Aussie." It's nice to see. So I want to sort of, just pay tribute to that video and to pay tribute to good old Conway Plays. If you are still watching, mate, I really appreciate you if you're still subscribed. So anyway, this video is going to be talking about the current sort of meta in World of Tanks Blitz. Right, so what can we expect when you jump in a battle and you play a game? In previous years, the meta has changed constantly. It's always been changing. It's never the same. It's never going to stay the same. It's always going to be different. And that, I think, is the beauty of Blitz, is that it never stays the same. It always changes. But the problem with having a changing meta is it's always out with the old, in with the new. Right? Constantly out with the old, in with the new, out with the old, in with the new. Which is fine. But that brings around a sort of uncertainty when it comes to, understanding game mechanics, understanding tanks in general and how to play, and different play styles, and of course different skill sets needed for different types of tanks, and where you can expect these things to happen, and where you expect the enemy team to be, and which cap you should be capping first when you first begin the match. Which area of the map should you go depending on what tank type you have. Game mechanics generally stay the same, and it has been the same for many, many years in World of Tanks Blitz, but the player base has constantly changed. Now, we're seeing a variety of players, from people who are very, very skilled and very, 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 very serious about the game, and then there are those that are just casual gamers like myself. Now, whenever I get an opportunity, I will play a game. But as someone who's very, very busy with work, with life, with family, whatever, I find it difficult to find the time to sit down and just be serious about the game for a while. I'm not saying I'm not serious. I am. I play for fun, though, because I've had my time to play serious. I've had all those years of playing serious. I started playing this game when I was back in 2014 on my old account. And then my main account right now, I've been playing it since 2016. So I have all those years under my belt. I know how the game plays. I know the game mechanics, and understand as tanks come and go. Tanks get nerfed, tanks get buffed, new tanks come in, and other tanks that have been in the game for ages sort of get left alone, and sort of they went from being incredibly OP to just meh, average. Things change. And the same thing happens with the player base. The player base changes. And as a result of that, you notice that, it's difficult to determine how a game is going to come, how a game is going to turn out. Are you going to win? Are you going to lose? You don't know. It's all a barrel of chance. So you can't determine that anymore. You can't determine the outcome of a game as, let's say, we used to be able to, because you used to be able to say, oh, well, the enemy team has gone on the far left flank. We are going on the right flank and in the middle, and we're going to be flanking all of them together. We're going to keep them there, and then we're going to win the battle. I'm not saying that you could have predicted that pretty well. There was obviously a certain level of understanding and skill and game mechanics to really predict an outcome of a game, but at the end of the day, it's all relative to experience and to skill. But I think the biggest sort of drawback in terms of the meta changing in Blitz over the years is it's the player base. And I think the player base has changed significantly over the years, right? We went from being somewhat respectful. This is a bit of a controversial topic, and I understand. Some people don't want to hear it. Some people want to voice their opinions, that's up to them. But like just general banter, right? Like in a fun mode, you're playing a fun mode, right? It's not serious. You're not supposed to take it serious. When you're playing realistic battles, you're playing mad games, burning games, gravity, whatever it is, right? Like, you don't expect to have, being super serious and that, if you make a mistake, suddenly you're the enemy and, you should die and F you and F this. And it's just like, why? It's a fun game mode. Just enjoy it. It doesn't affect your stats. Your win rate is not decreasing. Your average damage is not decreasing. You're not losing statistics on the tank. You're just having fun. That's the whole point of the fun game modes. That's one of the reasons why I still play the game, and I enjoy it. I play regular battles sometimes when I need to, when I'm grinding tanks or when I'm doing reviews on tanks, but a lot of the times I'm playing the fun modes because it's fun. It's fun. I've had my time to play in regular battles because that's all we had. When we were sort of in the earlier days of Blitz, for a few years, we didn't have any fun game modes. We were playing normal games. So it was understandable when people were a bit pissed off. I get it. We all do that sometimes. But it's how you control yourself. The difference between the player who gets pissed off and shouts at the screen but doesn't send anything, and the player who gets pissed off, shouts at the screen, and then decides to send some racist slurs and discriminatory remarks and just plain out cursing in the chat to those there and to those outside, like in the global chat. Like on Asia, you can still talk on sort of you can talk to the enemy team on Asia. I think on EU it's not allowed, but on Asia you can still do that, right? And I just get it all the time, and it's just like, guys, just calm the hell down. Like, for God's sake, it's a bloody fun game. It's a game mode. Your life savings is not at risk if you lose. Who cares? Why you need to bring up different races and you gotta, blurt out slurs? Like, just calm down, mate. Take a chill pill. As Michael Jordan said in the McDonald's ad.
Stop it. Get some help.
Thank you, Michael. That was very, very nice of you to say that. My point is, do not, under any circumstances, think that I am trying to point the finger here and say, you guys, you players are the ones that are ruining the game for everyone. Because it's not true. Majority of the player base are respectful. Majority of the player base are great to speak to and to play with. And they're very fun to be around. But it's those handful of people. It's those that destroy the meta of the game. And when there's constantly being regurgitated the same bullshit every single time, and the same people saying the same shit, all the same basically immature individuals, not in terms of the same people, but like having the same attitude, and the new players having the same attitude, it's like, guys, just calm down. Respect those players on your team. Respect the enemy team. Have fun. It's all about camaraderie. It's all about working as a team, working as a community. If you die first, that's on you, right? If the enemy team rushed you and you're on your own, that's fine. But don't blame the team because you decided to go by yourself. It's a team game. You're playing as a team. It's a team effort. And I think that's what is probably... It needs to be adjusted. Wargaming needs to put more restrictions on what people can say. There needs to be some kind of AI in the chat or something that monitors what people say. And as soon as someone says something like that, they're chat banned. Or a restriction is put on their account for talking to other people. It's as simple as that. I know it's implemented like this, but I know it's somewhat implemented like that when people report them, but it's not enough to just have people report them and to let it slide, because it just ruins the game. Like, let's say my son decides to play this game, and he's out there playing at tier 4, playing at tier 5, whatever, he's trying to grind tanks, and he's enjoying himself, and all of a sudden, one of his teammates dies, or he dies, and then some of his teammates just go absolutely abusive. They hurl abusive comments at him. They tell him, F you, F your mum, F your dad, blah, 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 you racist pig, this, that. It's just like, this is a young boy, a young child who's playing this game, who wants to enjoy it, wants to learn how to play it, and you're exposing him to these things. Like, I don't want that for my son, and I'm sure you don't want that for your daughters or for your children as well. It's disappointing. It's really disconcerting when you see stuff like this. And that, as I said, is my issue with the meta. currently in all the tanks, please. I'm not really too fussed about broken tanks and whatnot, and tanks that have just become trash when they were once OP. I don't really care about that. Who cares about that? But what I do care about is when I see things in the chat that I shouldn't see, or when people message me after the battle, you know, and say like, oh, F you, you stupid dog. It's like, you know, you're an idiot. You suck at the game. It's like, okay, fantastic, great. Thank you for your unwanted opinion. I could not care less. You think someone on the internet hurling abuse at me is going to affect me? It isn't. But when there's other people out there, like children and whatnot, who see this stuff, or exposed to this stuff, of course it's going to affect them. They're going to be, their feelings are going to be hurt. They're going to say, Dad, why is this person saying this stuff? What did I do? Did I do something wrong? I don't want to play this game anymore. I don't feel like I want to play this game because I keep getting told off. And that for me is it's concerning. It really is heartbreaking when things like this happen. I see it. And I love the game of Blitz. Despite leaving for a while and coming back and stopping YouTube for a while, I still play the game. I still have my account. And I don't intend on getting rid of it. Because I love the game. And I will continue to love it, and I'll pass it on to my children so they can enjoy it too. Guys, let's make Blitz a better community to be in. I know it's a great community anyway. It's fantastic. You guys are all amazing. But let's do our part to try and stop the abuse, try to stop all the racist slurs, and let's convince Wargaming to add more mechanics in the game that will stop people from doing this, so that our children, for instance, and all those youngsters out there are not exposed to these things, that they don't become, you know, discouraged to not play the game anymore. So, guys, if you enjoyed the video, let me know in the comments down below what you think about the current meta of Blitz, and whether you agree or disagree with me. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments down below. I'm more than happy to listen to your feedback and to understand what you guys like. Anyway, I'm out. Peace out. Peace in the Middle East. You guys are awesome, and I'll see you bloody legends later. Cheers, fellas.
But yeah, thank you all for watching, and a massive, massive thank you for all subscribing, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.